Great. So another thing I want to show you is this. So far, we've been able to establish something.
So you were asking a question and we didn't finish.
I'll get there. Don't worry. Thank you so much for reminding me. So far, I've told you what scripting is. I've told you why we need to write scripts. I've told you how to create scripts. I've shown you 3 ways on how to execute scripts, even though, okay, I think it's just one I've shown you so far. So I've shown you how to write your first script. Now, one other thing, even though we've already started some of these things, quotes and the rest, but I want you to understand your level of Linux knowledge is very, very important. Very, very important. So the more Linux commands you are familiar with, the better scripter you become. Because if you notice, most of the commands we will be using in our scripts, they are Linux commands. You understand? So please, you need to become more familiar with your Linux commands. Okay. So there's something we call variable. Remember, if I say name equal to achiever, if I hit enter and type name, and so what is name? What did you see there? It cannot recognize name. Now, this is simply because that is not how to call a variable. Whenever you put something like name equal to something, to be able to call that name, you will use the $ name. Does that make sense? So variables are denoted with the symbol $. That's why I call it a special character at that time. Okay, so it can be any name. Take note of the name. Take note of any name. So if you come and say name is equal to Charles. So if I want to see what is inside name, I will have to do what? Use please, do we understand? Do we understand? So once I run echo name, what is it going to give us? Charles, is that true? Are we together? So I'm going to do that and say echo name. If you hit enter, what did you see there? Achiever. Are we together on this? Now, what if I say X is equal to 3 and I hit enter? How do we get that? Echo $what? X. What do you see there? 3. Please, does this make sense to you? Now, let me go back.
So I have a question.
I'm listening.
Why did you put this C up here when you wrote name equals to achiever?
Why did I use what?
Why did you put that capital letter C where you wrote name equals to achiever?
This is to terminate that line. I was typing something. If I'm typing something, right? And maybe I don't want to continue anymore. If I press Ctrl+C.
Okay.
That's what happens. All right. So the next thing I want to show you is, so we are still working with variables. So supposing I say, okay, you know, I was telling you before that Ima was owing me, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I said, what is name? What is inside name? First of all, let's put it name, achiever, right? Good. See what I'm going to do. Echo Ima has paid $10. he owes achiever. And I put, so what do you, okay, let me see who's going to get this. He, do you guys understand? First of all, do you understand what is here? Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Everybody? Are we sure? So
Yes.
if you're sure you understand this, so what if you say you understand, what's going to be the result?
I don't understand though.
The result
Emma-
will be he owes
Emma
achiever.
has paid 0010. He owns achiever.
Okay, and another person?
The result there is Emma has paid the amount. He has just paid it. We just bring out achiever.
It will just bring, no.
It will not just bring out achiever now.
I
It
want
will
to
bring
know what-
out Emma has paid. The dollar sign now will be 0, then 10.
The most
As he
important thing, the most
achiever.
important thing is for you to show who Emma paid.
I need you to start marking the markers and tracking sand, please. Now what you're marking.
Yes, I think Amaka is right. It's going to return Emma as
This is what we have there, right? And this is what I want to see there. Emma has paid $10. He owes achiever. This is what I expect to see.
That means you need
Then you use single
put a
quote.
single.
Quote.
Okay. So we are okay. You said I should use single quote, right?
Yes, single quote.
Single quote.
Sharif, are you understanding a little bit? Tell me where you're
So I don't know if you
Where?
from where you started this step.
Okay, just hold on, you will get it. I'll explain again. So you guys said I should use single quote, right? So do I hit enter now?
Yes.
So is it correct?
The name is supposed he's supposed to show achiever now, not dollar day.
No, sir, you should have put echo that on that name.
Echo on that name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Echo before the dollar sign the name.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Did it work?
Yeah.
No, sir, calm down.
I'm waiting for your results. You tell me, I'm listening, guys.
Okay. See what you do here. This thing is meant to have like once you put Emma owes Emma.
First of all, sorry,
Emma,
let me clarify something. Sorry. Importantly, I want you all to understand that whenever it sees dollar in front of any value or any word, it calls it a variable. So how did we create a variable? I told you that if I tell you that
Equals.
school, or let's say country, is equal to Nigeria, right? How do we get, if we say echo country, it's not going to give us Nigeria. It still returns. What did you see there? What did it return? It returned country. Is it not true?
Country.
Good. Now, but what we want is the content of country. Is that not true?
yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So how do we return the content of country? I told you that once you do something like this, this is a variable. So you need to say
Echo dollar.
echo dollar echo country. Did it work?
Yes.
It makes sense, Sharif. So this is how we call a variable. So because we've stored something inside it. So if you want to access what is stored inside, you have to use the dollar sign. Does that make sense to you all?
But if you change that in
Yeah.
from that
So,
equals,
okay. Okay, so
Now, can you hear me?
let's say we want to change country to USD now and see if it's going to change, right?
I'm saying
It changes.
But sorry, can I ask?
Yes,
Since
go
we
ahead.
said variables, we'll put $sign in front of them. Can I equally say echo USA? Will it give me country?
Now, it is read left to right, not right to left. Does that make sense to you?
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
now what if you write echo plus? How will you now see it? Like maybe you now instead of using equals to you use plus.
In mathematics, plus is used for addition. In
Yeah.
programming, plus can be used for concatenation. I believe that's the reason why you're asking. So, but in this case, no, it's not used for joining things together. No, it won't work. Just to save our time. So it won't work. So, but so far, do we understand what we've done?
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes.
So now, if you understand, please, I ask again, what will be the result of this? I want this to match this result. This should be the result. Because if I say Ctrl+C to terminate this, sorry, clear the screen quickly. If I say echo, what is inside name? What did you see there? Achiever, right? Good. So that was why I said I want it to be this way. Take note of my desired results. Ima has paid $10. He owes Achiever. So I asked you, is this the right way to put it? I've already told you the difference between single quote and double quote. Now, I want to ask you, supposing I remove the quote. Did you see that? So because some of you may be wondering, if I remove the quote, it will work. So let's do this. What did you see there? Ima has paid 0. He owes echo Achiever. Were we supposed to put the echo there? No. So
No.
one of you that made that suggestion. so let's still run it. Did it work? No.
No.
Good.
Yeah,
It's still not
but
showing the
that's
dollar
zero.
sign.
So how do we get it correctly?
Single quote now.
Okay, single quote. I want everybody to understand this. That's why I'm being this patient. So do we run it?
Yes.
Did it work?
It didn't work.
No,
but
it didn't work.
It's still
it
not
didn't
working,
work.
right?
But the dollar sign is not showing.
Use
But then
the single quote. Use the
Okay,
single
so far,
quote only on
Let me
that
let's save
$10.
time. Let's save time. Remember, you guys can practice this on your own while I'm doing this, right? So let's save time. We ought to have closed the session already. It's almost to 8. So now, for me to show you how this works, remember, I told you that if you do not want that, if you use, remember, I told you that if you use, what is it called? Single quote. Single quote, what the single quote does, it ignores,
It does not respect
it ignores special characters. Is that true?
special characters.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So now, but that rule defeats some purpose, right? Because if you notice, sometimes you may want to break it. For instance, I want it to break the rule here, but I want it to retain the rule here. Does that make sense? So somebody
Yes.
might say,
Backslash.
what if we come and do something like this? Let's put it double quote here, right? And come here and put single quote. Did you see what I did there?
Okay.
I'm just asking. I'm asking. Did you?
Yeah, I'm saying it.
Let's hit enter and attempt to see if it's going to work.
Yeah,
Did it work?
it's supposed to work. No.
No, I think you will put the okay, you put the double quotes, you put single quotes. Ima has paid $10, then the double
Double quotes.
quote will continue with the other part of the list.
So you said we should use single quotes to start. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Amaka, your own is just yes, everything.
Okay.
Yes.
So is this what you're saying? Is this what you're saying? So let's hit enter. Let's go to the end of this line and hit enter. Does it work?
No.
No.
All right, so let me save your time. Now, you will understand this better as we proceed. Now, if you don't understand this, you will not be able to write intelligent scripts. That's the reason why I'm taking my time to explain all this. Now,
But if you want the EMA own and the dollars to show up, the one that you're putting can be able to execute it now without bringing
this is
out
what we
discussion.
want, Derek. This is what we want. Did you see? Emma has paid $10 he owes Achiever. So tell me again what you said we should do.
I think
Derek,
it can be just from the beginning echo, then don't. Why are you putting a name dollar on the name for the name? That one will not execute now. It will call
that's
out the name.
That's what we are saying. We want, how do you write this thing, this command, right? This command, how will you write it such that this will be the result? That's what we are saying.
So I think what you should do now is this. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm listening.
I think what
Oh,
you
hold
should
on,
do
sorry,
now.
hold on. Let Derek wants to say something. I want to get his input.
No, since you are saying name now, first of all, you have to create name, assign.
Yes,
name
we've
to
done
Achiever
that.
first.
We've done that before. We've done that. That's why if you check here, if you type echo, we created a variable of name. That's why if you check name here, you can see Achiever, right? So that's why we are putting it inside this command. Do you get? All right, so.
How about if the open and close quote is simply only on the dollar sign and others are without quotes?
I didn't get that.
I said, how about if we echo without quotes, just on the $10, we now put single quotes?
We've actually done that. Okay, but let's see. You say without quote, right? And
Yes.
let's see.
Then no quotes anyway again.
All right. Okay.
I won. I won.
This is what I want to say before I was caught short.
Ask also.
That's what I want to say before I was caught short by Derek.
All right. Okay, so guys, you see, remember I told you that I want you to use best practice. You need to use those double quotes, even though this works, right? And somebody else would think that Echo Emmanuel, this is just two together, right? So I told you the importance of putting double quotes. Do you remember? So
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So this is the command that we are working with, right? Copy. Sorry. So Ctrl+Shift+V to paste it. For some reason, it's not pasting it. Edit. Right click, edit, paste. It's not, okay. It's not pasting it. So let's just use the up arrow key. So let me just You see what we have here, right? Now, so this is an intelligent way to do this. If you want one of them to be silent, to be ignored, right? In this case, we want one of the variables to be ignored. Is it not true? So we will need to pass what we call escape character. We call it escape character, which is the backslash. Did you see that? The backslash there means escape this character. Does that make sense to you guys?
He said it when.
So, but do you understand this? So now I'm going to hit enter. So guys, take note of it. So did it work?
Yeah, it did.
Beautiful. So having understood this, let's move to the next phase. There's so many things to do with. So.
Hey, you did not allow us to put it down.
All right, no problem. So.
Shut it.
So pass escape character. So this is the escape character, which is your backward slash, right? Okay, good. So I'm saving this. We'll call it notes. Notes. Day one, notes. So, all right, good. So the next thing I want to show you, so far, we've talked about variables, we've talked about special characters, we've talked about double quotes and single quotes. Now we're going to talk about comments, okay? Now, I've told you about the difference between a command and a variable. Then we're going to create a simple app, okay? Which is a simple login app, okay? Now, take note that on your system by default, right? On your system by default, anytime you log into your system, there are variables that has already been created. Please, I want you to take note of that. Anytime you log into your system, there are variables that's already been created without your knowledge on a Linux machine. In fact, the same thing for Windows, okay? Now, those kind of variables, we call them system variables or environment variables. If you just type env on your computer and hit enter, you're going to see a lot of things that will display. Did you see that? But you're going to see shell is equal to this. This is equal to this. PWD is equal to this. So all these things you see here, they are all what? Environment variable. I used env to get it. Does that make sense? I did not create them. They are always there. Take note of that. So there are two types of variables.
What's in the way when the env is not working on my system? What happens?
It should work. If it doesn't work, type print env. Print env. It should work. Did it work?
That's it.
See there, print env. Does that make sense? So there are two types of variables. Okay, so we have what we call the user defined variables, and we have what we call what? System variables. Does this make sense to you? So did you notice that when I came here and type by myself, I'm the one creating it, I said name is equal to achiever. That was me creating what? A user defined variable. But the one that's on your system by default, when you type env or print env, these are what? System defined variables. But did you notice that it will save it somewhere here? Did you notice that? It saves it for you as well. Are we together, guys? Yes. All right. Now, I want you to notice that this user that I created here, and I said, anytime I create a variable, right? If I say name is equal to Ima and hit enter, and I say echo Ima, sorry, why is it not displaying?
Echo name.
Sorry, echo name. Thank you. So it worked, right? Now, if you log out of this terminal and come back, if you log out and come back, that variable name will no longer be there. Does that make sense to you?
Because it's not system variable.
Because it's not
Why?
a system variable.
Okay.
And apart from that, if you want a variable or a file to be retained, it needs to be saved somewhere. So that is why it's not good for us to write our scripts just on the interpreter, on the command prompt here. Okay, that's the reason why we created these script files. They are supposed to be inside the script files. Does that make sense? Good. So I am going to open those script files, and that's where I will be typing my script files now, henceforth. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, guys, the recording in 10 minutes will be going off, but let's continue still. So now, remember I told you inside the file, what do you need to do when you open a script file? Do you remember? I told you that when you are working inside the file like this, the first line should be what? The shebang. Do you remember?
The shebang.
Shebang. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So which is the pound, exclamation, then the name of the interpreter, which is slash bin slash bash. Does that make sense? All right, good.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing I need to do is to write my commands. Okay, now, so far, we've been able to understand, what is it called? All this. We've understood this. The next thing I want to explain is comments. Now, because I want people to be able to read this, my script, I am going to introduce what we call comments. I'm going to put the pound symbol, which is the hash symbol. So those lines will be ignored. So I want people to know that anytime they've opened this thing, they will know the name of the person who created it. So I'm going to put date and say today's date is 07/13/2022.
We can't see what you're typing.
You can see.
The color is in blue.
Yes, I know. So sorry.
The color is in blue. You can't see it.
But you can see it a little bit, right?
Don't worry, I will teach you that one. But
okay, let's use let's use
so if I use that vim now,
okay, you know what? We're going to be typing it on our notepad here. Sorry.
Okay.
So then we'll copy and paste it there. Okay. So this is what we did.
Okay.
Slash what? Bin
bash.
Slash bash.
Like this bash.
Good.
Bash.
So the next thing you do is you put a comment, and I want it to have a date that says when it was created, which was 07/13/2022. I want it to also have the created by Amaka. Then maybe just these two things is what I want. Do you understand? No, now this is, you should actually have more. What is the purpose of the script? You understand? So this script says hello and displays date, displays a calendar. a calendar. Simple. Because people need to know what your script is doing. Please, do we understand? All right.
Yeah.
Now, how do we write the script that will display a calendar that will do this action? So what do we do? Echo, right?
Echo.
It says hello. Hello. Welcome to Bash. Welcome to heaven. I'm going to watch what I'm going to do again. If I put echo without typing anything, it's going to display a blank line, a blank line. Does that make sense to you? Are we together?
Yes.
All right, good. This is where you, where did I type? This is where you will meet your Lord and Savior.
Oh, amen.
Now I'm just going to type date. Now, to display calendar, what we use is cal, just cal. Let's prove it. If you come to your terminal and just type cal. What did you see there?
Date.
The calendar,
The calendar.
right? Beautiful.
Date.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So cal will give you a calendar, but date is going to display the date
The
and
date.
time. Does that make sense?
Day and
All right,
time.
beautiful.
Yum.
So did you notice what I typed now? Anybody confused?
Car.
Any confusion so far? Is anybody confused so far?
No.
Okay, good.
So, but why didn't you put that? Okay, because Carl is this thing. It's okay, or just like
It
normal
just
date.
it's in the
whatever you want. You are the one writing the script. Your script must be executing its intent. You don't put the different thing on your purpose and you now do a different thing. Do you understand? All right, good. So let's copy this. Copy and go to the terminal. So let's open our editor, which is vi and script 1.sh, right? Okay, so let me delete this thing that's already here. For now, you guys, to delete it, we backspace, and yes, you can use backspace, but if you use %d and hit enter, it will wipe off everything. See what I'm doing at the bottom here? %d and hit enter. It wipes off everything. So that's how to delete it. So let me type.
Many things to learn.
So this is what I did here. %d. It's used to delete contents in a VI or Vim file. Okay. All right. So that's what I did. So let's paste that thing. Ctrl+Shift+V. Sorry, no. Insert. You need to go to insert. The insert view.
I.
Right. Okay. Insert. Ctrl+Shift+V. I hope I'm not missing anything. Okay. It's supposed to work, but I think it's because of the type of terminal I'm using. That's the problem. Because of the...
After this class, are we going to have another one?
It depends. No.
Because the time is 2 minutes
yes,
now.
This is 2 minutes remaining.
So this is the last.
No, I'm going to restart it. Then we're going to just wrap up in the next 15 minutes after it. So let me just quickly type this. Sadly, you see this copy and paste is not working here for some weird reason. I tried to copy and paste, it's not working. So, okay, let's queue. Let me use another editor and see what happens.
Yes.
Nano. Script. Okay, so let me Ctrl+V. It's still not pasting. It's still not. It has to do with the terminal I'm using, with the shell I'm using. That's why it's doing that way. If you use your own personal environment, it's not going to give you this experience. So between when you guys rejoin this session, I will
Try Ctrl+U.
Control. Okay, let's see. In the VI or Nano, which of them?
The
VI or Nano?
the nano.
Okay. So let's Ctrl+U. It's not doing it. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+U. It's not working. So it has to do with this guy. I know.
Under it, you can see
Yes, I can see
paste
it.
test. Ctrl+U.